Welcome to Attican Plays Workers and Resources, Soviet Republic. All right, hi, this is Attican, and welcome to Series 4, Episode 5 of Workers and Resources, Soviet Republic. Now, this one has so many good things in it that I want to cover that I had to make a little punch list for myself to make sure I covered them all. So, the first thing, and a lot of this, let me just go back and kind of say thank you to everyone for all the great comments. I've said this before, I'll keep saying it, but it's the comments and your all's participation that makes this, to me, a really good channel for all of us to learn together. And your comments are definitely helping me become a better player, and I will certainly show you one or two things that I got from your comments. Now, I'm going to start out over here. Well, first of all, let's do a quick review. In the last one, in Episode 5, we managed to get all this built. We've got this long line of track going all the way to Molna, so that we have this beautiful train set up right here, which is exporting fuel for us to Molna and making us a lot of rubles. It's also clearing out, we were getting a backlog of fuel here. Our trucks couldn't keep up with it. Our trucks are doing a good job of keeping up with the bitumen and exporting it to Small Town and over here to Borislav. And in fact, one of the things we did in the last episode is kind of some currency exchange. We basically said, okay, we're going to start getting all of our food, meat, electronics, and clothes for our store in dollars, and for the longest time we imported all of our oil in dollars, and that allowed us to build up the rubles we needed because we could do this part of the construction in dollars. Wasn't too bad, but over here running right along the border, of course we wanted to use rubles, and we were weak in rubles at the time, and by spending dollars to get most of our stuff, most of our imports that we needed to support our workers, we were able to accumulate enough rubles to get that gone. And let's just get that done rather. And let's take a quick look at last year and kind of how we did. Well, obviously we lost a fortune, but remember, this is the end of our first year. We've only been at this 1 year. And those numbers, we started with 500,000 US dollars. So clearly, we're doing okay. We got 90,000. We're doing all right. And we're down 800,000 in rubles, but we've got 164,000 in our pocket right now. So we've done all right. So if we look at last month, which is a month that I kind of let it run to finish off the year and didn't do anything crazy in terms of spending, we made a trade surplus of over 50,000 rubles and over 21,000 in dollars. So good for us. We're doing okay. We're not killing it yet, but we're getting there. We've got some things to. Hopefully, we can do this episode that'll help us get even further along that path. Now, and just quickly, we do want to eventually extend this line that we've built. This down here to Molna. We want to take it on down through this pass and down here into this valley, which is rich in oil deposits. So we're going to set up another town down here for fire support and have it set up with oil rigs so that we can have our train will come all the way down here. Well, first it'll export to Molna with fuel, then it'll come on down, grab oil, and take that all the way back up to our refinery up here around Small Town in Borislav, and that will allow the train to be more efficient and kind of have a full load most of the time. So, and that's one of the things you want, of course, with trains. You want them running often and running full. So, the first thing we're going to do, let's get into the things I wanted to cover. So, first one, this is a comment that came from Thanos. This is something I was aware of, but I hadn't set it up, and I really should have. So we're going to run our pipeline and run it off of our diesel fuel station for our train and actually connect it directly to the fuel over here. And I think I'd like to do it, we'll see. We can either do it for this connection or this one. I don't want to get in a situation where it's going to be hard to lay this pipe, right, or this track. If we get this thing rocking and rolling, we'll want more than one train. So let's just do it out of this one to be safe. So we'll just loop it quickly back, and we can run it down like so, and over here. We'll see if we have any issues with maybe this, if we want to hook that up for bitumen export later. Could potentially regret this, but I don't think so. Could we run it through this? I'm just wondering if we could run this line over here, run it through the unloading station, and have it go over to this. In other words, kind of let this serve almost like a pumping station. Well, that doesn't solve the problem here any better, so we'll just stick with what we've got right here. And we'll build that out in dollars. Okay, and now what that should do is allow us to fill this baby up, and we can get rid of this truck right here, which happens to be empty right now, so that's a perfect time. So bye-bye to that truck. And now let's see if this thing fills up. And then the question will be whether it actually fills it up or if it takes it as the train needs it. Let's see what it does when the train comes up here. Well, he's going to pass right on by. He's not going to use it. So when he comes back, we'll get a test on that and see how that worked. Okay. So now we've got, so that was number one. Now number two is kind of the biggie for this episode, one of the two biggies. Our line that's running our workers up to our oil refinery. And right this minute, look at that, we're doing well. We are doing well. But we've got 3 diesel trains, full-blown engines running. And TEX, OCM, OTP, TEX, OCM, OTP. See, I can't even spell it, let alone say it. I won't even try to say it. It almost looks Aztec to me. But for this channel, your name is Tex. So Tex sent me a comment that said, why don't you run 3 or 4 trams between these two stations and use that, and that way you would get better frequency. And when he first said that, I thought maybe this is a language problem, because a tram to me is something you take up a hill, like a tramway that goes up like Scandia Mountain in Albuquerque to go up to overlook up there, a tourist site. I'm used to that kind of thing. I didn't even know what a tram was. I thought maybe it was I'm thinking it was like a carriage in England or something, but didn't know. But here's, why did you guys tell me this? We have these things called trams, which are all electric, but the beauty of them is, look at this. You can get for 12,000 rubles, you can get a vehicle that goes 68 kilometers per hour and hauls 63 people. It's a tiny little thing, and it'll just run back and forth, so you can have multiple of those going. So that got me excited to think, oh man. Now, I could tell you one thing. If I had known that these things existed when I started this, and shame on me for not knowing this, we would have been running these trams right away because they're so cheap. We could have had those. They cost a fraction of what this is. I mean, look at what we've got here. We've got this train right here. Is that the big one? One nice. Yeah, these two are the big ones. I mean, these guys are a full-blown diesel locomotive engine plus 2 of these passenger things. So they cost, let's look at this. You know, the prices have gone up since we started, but a passenger wagon for those is 33,000 rubles. And the diesel locomotive, the cheapest one, is 50,000 rubles, 49. That's a lot of money. we could have saved all that and run these inexpensive little trams and done the exact same job. And of course, we would have needed electrified track here. Well, I did some experimenting and actually took a save and went through and did that and ran the trams, and they worked great. The only thing I will say is to really get what I wanted, to get that frequency, because they're not super fast, we needed 6 of them to actually hit in there as fast as I wanted. But you could run 6 trams back in there. They would only cost you, what, 120,000 rubles total? That's a great trade-off for these trains, which are very expensive. So that's one. So I tested that out. It works beautifully. Also got comments about, well, why don't you run train sets? Maybe that would be even better. Well, a train set is this little deal here. Now, they are all diesel, but they are fast and hold a lot of people. Like this train set right here, it says 65 passengers. It's actually, that's not true. It's actually double, but we'll see it in a minute. But it's expensive, 122,000, but it goes 150 kilometers an hour. They're very fast and hold 65 passengers. And it says there, you can really move some people with that. So they are a great option to do for running your passengers rather than, again, using a diesel locomotive, which is really a freight train. I'm really running freight trains to haul passengers. That's my big problem here. To justify the cost of these engines, you should be hauling 6, 8, 10 box cars behind it, not 1 or 2 passenger cars. All right, so what we're going to do now I was experimenting with those, the train sets. They work great. We're going to opt for the train sets for this playthrough for 2 reasons. 1, we've already got diesel track here, and 2, they're going to work beautifully with the plan I have for putting in a university over here to tie into our main city. So what we're going to do next here is I'm going to select each of these as they come out empty and sell them off. And as I have the money, I'm going to replace them with a train set. And we're going to go all the way and get this DRG, which is 150 kilometers per hour versus the 105 and 110. We're going to go all the way for this one. And by the way, not only is this one 150 kilometers an hour, 65 passengers, but it's much cheaper than these other 2. So we're going to go with the DRG, and we're going to take one of these existing ones and copy its line and put it on the DRG. And when these trains clear out a little bit, we'll start the DRG. And there's something else we can do, which will be very, very nice. See how far out we've got this diamond crossing, because we got these freight trains that are too long, basically. Well, the DRG is going to fit very nicely. I'll show you. We'll just start this puppy. Go ahead and start. See, its capacity is actually 130. It's actually 2 of those. So there it goes. It's going to be way faster than these guys and have a higher capacity. So stop. We're going to sell you off. And we're going to get another DRG. Oh, it went up in price. Did you see that? It went up about 1,000 rubles. And we'll copy this one's line. We'll copy this line and put it there. And start that one. And when this guy comes out empty, we'll sell, whoops, when he comes out empty, we'll sell him out. All right, so we've sold off our 3 and we've replaced them with 3 of these train set DRGs, which are much faster. So obviously our throughput is going to be much faster. Copy the line and go. So now we've replaced those 3 diesel engines with 3 train sets that are designed to hold passengers and move quickly between these stations. So we should see some very good performance. The other thing I'm going to do here is pause, and we're going to fix this and make them more capable of moving quickly in and out of the stations. We're going to fix this mess right here caused by those trains that were hanging out over the end of our station and doing those magic turnarounds on us. Whoops, what do we want to delete? I want to get rid of, oh, here we go. I want to get rid of that crossing track and that crossing track. And I want to get rid of these 2, pardon me, signals. Then we want to come back here and put our diamond right in front of the station, right where it belongs. Stop that. Okay, go. There we go. And then we want to put our chain right here just over the road. And our exit, single direction exit right there out of that. We do want to build that track, of course. There we go. Now we've got a nice clean tight diamond for them to come into. We also want to get rid of another thing that needs to happen. We've already got our train over here doing our freight. This intersection here is actually slowing this down. Now that we've got trains that can move, we do not want that intersection there anymore. We do not want this to be a block causing these trains to slow down. And I didn't mean to kill all that, obviously, but I can put it back and build that. Okay, we want to give them a nice straight clean shot because these trains can motor. And this one should not impact it because it doesn't cross over. It's anything that crosses the track and sets up a crossing like that. Then it creates a block where the trains going in the opposite directions can impact each other. We do not want that. We want them to keep moving. Down here is the same thing. This is fine, but what we want to fix is this crossing right here as soon as we get these trains out of the way. So once that one pulls through, okay, now we can stop. We should be able to stop now and take out this crossing and this. And whoa, sorry about that. I just crashed, but I came right back. Don't think I lost too much. Let me see if did it keep this change here? It did. So let me go up here. Did it keep this change? It did. So we were right up here. Just as I started to take that out, it crashed. So let's see if it'll let me keep going. And yes, so far so good. Now here we go. Key moment. Delete those. Delete those. And now we want to rebuild our signals out here. And we want to put in, now that's a smaller station, so we'll leave them some room. And we'll put in and what I mean is this is a smaller station. We used a large station down there for the main one in the downtown. And this one out here, which just drops people off for the refinery, is a small station. So let's see if we can make our crossing in this little curve. It might be a little tough. Oh, to go that way and do it. Okay, that's cleaner. Build that for sure. We'll chain into it and single direction exit out of it. And that should work. And he's able to cross over. That's a good sign right there. Let's see if they're all 3 running. They are. Good deal. And look at that. So you see that beautiful pollution right there? Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? Look at that. There we go. We have 224. That's not amazing, but let's see what happens when our next train gets up here. All right, 260. That's better. We got another train queued up coming in right behind it. There we go. I think we have a working system right now, and that should be pretty good for us to keep that going and keep us motoring in terms of getting people up there with those 3 trains. Just watch how fast they move down here. They just zip. They're gone. That's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, so so that is a better setup. I wish I'd done that from the start, and I certainly wish I'd used the trams from the start with electric track. And even if you had to run 6 of them, fine. But at least that way they're so much cheaper, because saving that money early would have been huge for us. But that's okay. Live and learn. That's the whole point. All right. So now we need a university. We really, really do need a university, because we do not want to get in the loop where we have to go out. See, we've got to back up at our schools right now, in both schools, and we don't want to get in this horrid loop where we have to go out and keep buying expensive people. In other words, recruiting university grads into our system in order to keep our hospital going and in order to keep our schools going. So what we're going to do about that is set up our own university, of course, to train people and keep everybody educated, and it's also going to allow us to get our research going so that we can venture into some new and better products down the road. All right, so my plan is to do this. I want to really take advantage of this. We're going to put in a connection, a nearby community right in here. I'm seeing it right in this area between this hill and our existing town, and it's going to be an area that has flats and a university and a school and another school and a kindergarten. And so after I've built it, I'll explain to you kind of how it works in terms of how you get your needs met and all that good stuff. Pardon me. So let's start first. Where I want to start first, I want to flatten out, because I know this area is a little hilly. It's more hilly than I'd like. And yes, Modek, I will use the... oh, and by the way, I should have mentioned that the whole discussion, it wasn't just text that started it, but it was Thanos who mentioned the train sets, and Modak, and Paradox Bound actually mentioned something about having a double platform here, which I'll explain how that's relevant in a minute. We're not going to actually use one, but I'll explain how that entered into my thinking and how it was interesting what I saw doing similar things. So in my experiments. So thanks to all those guys. So again, keep those comments coming. But I want to flatten out this ground right here. And yes, Modak, I will use the height from center one this time. And I want to get rid of the infrastructure that's in place that I don't have to have for my city to run, because that infrastructure actually puts a limit on where you can flatten. So I want it to be kind of pristine and clear and just ground. Yeah, okay, there. See how we can go further over? So I want to pick a spot and maybe make it all even with this right here. And this could be painfully slow because I've only got one excavator and one bulldozer. So we're going to fix that, because I believe that you can use up to 7 at a time. I read that on the Steam forum. Are there any U.S. vehicles at all? These personal cars truly don't care about. A bad covered hull, don't care about. All right. So... excavator. We'll buy 6 of those, and bulldozers. We'd like some bulldozers too, and we'll hold off till we accumulate some cash again to get those. Make sure our auto build is turned off and start excavating. So I'm going to just show you how I'm doing it and see if you have any suggestions for doing it a better way. I'm picking a spot that I'm going to level from, and I'm using the level from the center button up here, choice up here, and then I'm just moving over, and I'm just going to keep doing that. I'll just hold this down until this is all level, and I'll just keep working my way from right to left and top to bottom down until I have this area kind of leveled off and easy to build in. And this is boring, and I'm just going to have to do it, so I will be back shortly. I am going to let it run enough to, well, I'm going to just let it run because we need to accumulate some funds. Because we're going to be spending some money here, obviously, to do this build. To build on, and you saw us kind of looking at how the university can fit in there. So the first thing I really want to do are build flats down through here and maybe even through here. We want to get more people into this refinery. That's more like it. 330, that's better. You notice it's like 120 at one time. There, now there we got pollution just pouring out of that puppy. And in fact, we're getting up to the point where we can't import fast enough. So we're going to have to fix that as well and start bringing our own oil up here to really have an efficient refinery. But anyway, where we are, I want to set up flats. So let's go out to our planning tool. And take a look at what we would want to do. We're not supporting any industry here, but we want to set up a kindergarten, maybe a playground, a school, and a technical university. And I've got it set at like 40% of a technical university. So you have to pay for the whole building, of course, but we don't need to staff the entire university right off the bat. We don't need to have 100% staff. If we just said build a technical university, that's going to be 336 people that we're going to need. So we'll do, let's shoot for 1/5 of the technical university. And what does that tell us we need to build? It tells us we need to build one flat with 111 leftovers, which would be 2 flats really. But it's only going to cost us 300,000 rubles roughly to build this. 130 for the university and 10 for the school and 900 for the playground and 5,500 for the kindergarten. So about 300,000 rubles would get it done. Where are we right now? We're nowhere close to that, but we can start laying it out. So I'm going to let it keep on running, and I'm going to start laying out the city. And we're going to want to put as kind of an upper boundary the road. And I hate all these trees. I knew I didn't like it when I put them in. They're way too thick, and that was my bad. I'm sure I goofed that up, but they grow in so thickly. All right, and that would be awesome if we were using that brush to restock a wood cutting post, but in a town like this, oh my word. Okay, so what I want to do is draw the boundary with that for an upper boundary, and then a path. I want to put a path in, and by the way, it was important not to put the path in and then start doing the landscaping, because that would have messed everything up. But by putting the path in after the landscaping, see how nice and flat everything is? Beautiful. And we might as well have these guys hooked into it as well. Okay. And then I'm seeing a row. I think we can go ahead and safely build those. All right, and I'm seeing a row of flats coming down like this. And notice I have get citizens turned off. So when we build these flats, they will not automatically go out and immigrate people into our town. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 8 of them. That's pretty good. And now I want another row, another nice long straight path right down this side. And we'll hook them into that. And build those paths. And I'm just going to, because I know I'll forget it, I'm going to force these to get built too. Okay, I said I was going to leave that running, didn't I? All right, now the centerpiece. Oh, I really, you know what? I meant to put a pathway through here. Yeah, that's. I think what I'm going to do is bulldoze 1, 2, 3, 4. This house right here, this flat, is going to go away, and it's going to leave room for a path. Go right through the middle. That connects anything we build over here with what's over here, and we'll put some shrubs or a statue or something in there, whatever we can do, or nothing, doesn't matter. And so now we want to have a small train platform that is hooked into that crossing path right there, like so. It's kind of center to our community. And let's make sure everybody can walk to it. And yes, they can, most definitely. And then we're going to want to have our line, which will be a regular track, diesel. We're going to want it to come out like this. And we're probably going to be happier if we get rid of the road and then build the road back over top of the train track. That seems to work better than the other way around. And we're going to want That looks pretty good. And we can go ahead and build this. And we're kind of in a location where it's dollars and rubles are kind of equal value. All right, so that gives us our little connection. Then we want to have our university. Yeah, I'd love for this first one to be able to walk to the university. That'll be the boundary. So 168 meters is all they're walking to there, so there's plenty more space. So we can put that university down here a ways. Yeah, I don't like that. It's a little crooked. I usually don't care about that sort of thing, but why mess it up? All right, I want you to line up there. Yeah, it looks more like it. All right. Let's see if we can't put it down here. Let's see if a road can't go right straight up through here like this. Beautiful. And now we've got that curve right there. It'll certainly fit going this way, like that. That will allow fire trucks and ambulance to get over there. Well, actually, and for the flats, they'll tend to they'll go here and then go down the pass to get to it. And that'll also give us fire coverage for the station and fire coverage for the university. Good deal. And then we will need a school and a kindergarten. And we'll need to have a path that goes across the train tracks so that people can easily walk across there. And that should mean that this school can be walked to by all the flats. Not quite. All right, so I'd like to save some space. Let's see here. If we go show wireframes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can put a path right down here. What I want to do is save space in case we ever decide to have a more like city folk or more communities coming in and feeding to the university area from the other direction. So we should be able to 2, 4, 6. We go across right here. 2, 4, 6, like that. Then all of those can walk to the kindergarten. All of those can walk to the school. Can they all walk to the, and they can, I see some that can't walk to the, that's a little weird. Let's try that again. One, two, three, 4. This one and this one don't look like they can walk to the school, which I don't quite follow. Let's just Make sure what's going on here. Get through these wireframes. They have paths coming out the sides. They can get onto this. Ten can't make it, but 11 can. 12 can't. That's so weird. Why 12 can't and 11 can? Maybe. Oh well, you know what? Maybe we can help them out if we can put pathing in. Little path go right there and right there. Alright, let's see if that helped. 3, 4, 5, 6, yes, that certainly did. It opened all of them up. So they can all get to the university, they can all get to the school, they can all get to the kindergarten. Later on we'll give them sidewalks so they can walk even faster, but we won't worry about that right now. And to build our school is going to cost us $133. I'd estimated $130. And are we doing anything up here now? 175. And let's just run a little test here. After all these people are gone, let's take the first person that comes back and watch his time and see if another train comes down here fast enough to pick him up. He'll only wait there for 1 hour. Is it 31 minutes? No problem. No problem. All right, we're getting the workers we can get. That's what's happening. That's the good news. All right, and let's just see let's do a check on happiness. Beautiful. 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 Okay, these are still overtaxed. We need some people. And I'm going to bite the bullet and go get about 10 more university grads just to help the school system out, because it's going to be a while before our university is truly helping us. It's going to be a little while before we can even build it. All right, so there's 35,000 rubles right there. That'll help a lot. It might even let us get us started on the university. So we're in hurry up and wait again. So I'm going to let this keep running, and I'll be back in as soon as we've accumulated maybe at least a couple 100,000 rubles. Once we have a couple 100,000 rubles, and I'll tell you what we'll do to speed that up. Here, we're going to start importing our oil with dollars. And I haven't actually had a chance to go back and look at it, but 75 point something was what this thing had in it before. Our train has run probably once or twice at least since then, so it's obviously able to fill off here, and this thing is keeping up with it. So it's probably a just-in-time kind of a thing. It won't actually pump it up to 150, but it'll send you however much fuel you need to fill up your truck. And we could even do that for this one over here. I didn't think about that. Do we want to? I'm just going to leave this truck running there for now. If we want to, though, we can certainly do it. I mean, we could even do it directly. I think we could do it directly out of the refinery. Yeah, we could. We could actually run a line that went like here over to here, or here to here would be even shorter. Or, yeah, we need to run it out of the refinery. Like this, over here. What would that cost? 20,000. Always have our fuel set up. Don't need a truck. I think we'll go for that. And this guy will, we'll just say goodbye to him. All right. And let's just see what this train. He probably will not stop for fuel. He's probably got plenty. No, he didn't. He just kept going. All right. Well, look at our money. It's racking up quickly here. Oh, it's racking up quickly because we're importing oil with dollars. We're going to go back to rubles. The dollars are getting a little bit low. We do not want them to run out on us. Look at this. This is beautiful. 380. That's more like. Now we're creating some pollution. now we're industrialists. All right, start that university and start your first flat. And let's confirm that fire coverage. Yep, we're good. Oh, I need to run power. And I am fairly certain one substation will suffice for this whole thing. So we can put it in like right here. Put it in right there. Well, shoot. Try that again. Put it in right there. And we're getting a little tight for money. We better wait, better hold off a little bit. Okay, we actually have a working university. There's just some people here walking over to school right now, which is fine. That's all we need right now. But, and these people, can they walk? You know what? We don't even need this train system yet. These people can actually walk to the hospital and to this. And that is actually all they need. A kindergarten and a school. I don't know if they can get to that. No, they can't, but they can get to this one once we build it. So we don't even have to do our train thing yet. Although I'm actually looking forward to it. I think it's going to be kind of cool. All right, here comes our train. With another fuel export. That'll give us enough money to kind of start recruiting some people. Now, Paradox Bound actually asked me about, well, he wasn't asking, I think he was telling me, but asked me if I ever move people around, like when I get full apartments, do I ever move those people elsewhere? And I really, yes, I have, particularly in Series 2, if you recall, I did that some. But there's no real need to do that here. These are not full apartments. This one is pretty full, but I think is that the one I just brought in some university grads? But it might be. I don't recall, to tell you the truth. But at any rate, there's no reason these people can't just walk to another apartment. I don't think I really have to move anybody. I could, of course, move people from this one over here, but the whole point of this is to have us rather rapidly get some more people, because we want to pump this baby up. See, it's falling off now, but there it goes right back up. But we want to keep this thing up high with a lot of people in it. We want to create a lot of pollution. That's our whole plan. Lots of pollution. And let's see how we're doing. Let's research chemistry, but let's cut back on the researchers. Oops. To just a few. Oh, and I want to cut the whole staff down. We do not need a full-blown university at this point. We'll cut it down to 20 staff and 18 professors. And we don't have enough professors. That's not a shock. And what we'll want to see is these people will, as people move from here, go to university, they will tend to go back to live here and work in the university. That's what we really want to see. So let's put some people out there. Let's go out and grab some. I'll recruit people into this flat as long as every time we have over 30,000 rubles. And I want to recruit educated people. Now, we could recruit immigrants from the third world and run them through our school system. Our hospital would handle them. And if we had the school built, which is going to cost us 10, that's not bad. We could set up the school and the kindergarten, which these people are going to need anyway. And here we can see this train is full of diesel, so that means that this has worked. And see, it still stays right around where it was. It was around, I think it was 75 something before. So it's obviously not going to pump into here unless it's needed. And that's what will happen over here as well. Yeah, see, this has gone down. It was at 150. But we should, anytime the trains come in here and need it, it should be able to pump straight from that refinery. So we should be good on that. And we finally got a teacher, and we finally got a student. All right, so I want to go over one other thing, and let's wrap up this one so it doesn't get too long. A couple of things, actually. Packrat made a great comment that what we think, we do, and we simply do not know. And in fact, let's do the first one first. This is from Johnny Hughes. This is there's this thing called the Pollution Monitoring Station. I have no idea what's the best place to put this thing, whether it should be next to your big polluter or if it should be near your town. I'm going to put it right here next to the fire department because we're going to assign one of our firemen to work on it. And no, nobody does work on it, but we're going to put the Pollution Monitoring Station right there. And what's it cost to build? Not very much. Okay. Now this will allow us to view our pollution. So watch. When I hover over this, notice all this green. Everything's good here. So we're good on pollution over in our city. If we go over right here over our factory, we're pretty good here. It's getting yellow right in here. See how there's a little red right in there, and there's a little yellow around it. So we're getting some pollution right around our factory. It's not red yet, which I assume would be more critical. I really don't know, but I'm thinking that's how. Well, here we go. Here's some red over here. There's a little red right over here in this area. So our pollution is not threatening our citizenry. I don't think they're going to die off because they go over here and walk into the plant. I think it's when you kind of habitate near it that you have the problem. So our idea of having the trains bring you in is keeping everybody away from the pollution, and it seems to be working. So that's from Johnny, how to do that. I had never noticed you could even view the pollution until I saw something Johnny sent me on Steam. So so there's that. And then the other one is the thing from Packrat. He said that one of the ways he likes to measure, in the absence of a good measuring tool, which the game could use, by the way. It'd be nice to have a measuring tool. You can see how far things were away. If you think about your little substation, it typically has a range of about a max range of 300 meters. Now right there's 320. But I can use this to say, okay, what's the first time it clicks on the refinery? 313 meters. So I know that's 313. And according to Steam, 500 meters is how far away from the factory you want to stay to not be affected by it. So we can say, well, that's 300, and be easy to say the another 500 would be, not quite that much. So right over out in here somewhere would be a safe distance away from that factory. Somewhere along here, maybe this intersection right here. So we could be careful not to build our city any closer than that, and we could go around this. And the nice thing about the using the substation is that it just sort of locks onto things automatically for you. See, there's three. There's we get there's 286 meters. That's about 300. So somewhere over and maybe around here would show us. And now another way we could do this, of course, is similar to our 6 tons of steel rule for our train tracks for our cargo trains. We can just figure out when we're first laying it out, you could place a refinery, for example. Then you could figure out how far 500 meters is in terms of track or road and look at your cost of materials for building that, and you could actually define an area. You could go out this way with track and out this way with track and this way, And you could say, okay, and then you could draw a line. You could even use landscaping to put a row of trees that mark your boundaries for your factory and say, okay, do not put your housing past this line right here, for example. And that would work. So that idea from Packrat for measuring with the substation was a good one, and understanding that what this pollution monitoring station actually does is a good one, because we can see, actually at night you can really see it, can't you? There, now we can see our pollution. It's right there at the factory. There is some red. There's some areas there, and if that would happen to be over top of our citizens and our cities, we would have a problem. All right, so let's wrap this one up. What did we accomplish? We got a better delivery system into our factory so that we can get more workers in there. And we've laid out a really nice area here close to our main downtown. And we're going to eventually, I hope you can see the plan, we will start adding more of these, increase our university capacity, and we'll set up a train line and use these guys, plus maybe another one, to extend their line and go over here and start hauling passengers from here who need to have their needs met, can grab a train and go over here, get off, and go downtown. And then eventually, after we get these people educated, we can expand our education system by opening up this platform to students, and then people here who want to go to college can go over here, get on this platform, and get off here and walk over and go to university. So we will be able to use that, and then by having this train station here, we could go out and even build more communities up here maybe, or down here, and have them hook into that train station and have an easy way to expand out and open up university possibilities for people who live here, whatever. And we can even, of course, until we max out our downtown, we can continue to have these other satellite communities feeding in through our rail system to go here to go downtown. So we want to keep pumping into this until we have this maxed out, and see, we're not anywhere close. 50 out of 134. We could hold a lot more volume. Our cinema, we're only working 3 out of our 5 people. It never comes close to being full. We can move a lot more people in there without building another one. It's the same thing with our pub. It's never even close to full. So we can expand it. Our hospital, we only have 10 staff in there. We could go up to 50. So we could have 5 times the capacity in this hospital, and it's not even getting bombed. The only thing I would say is let's go ahead and put in the ambulances, because we've got more space over here. We're going to have more people, and we need the ability to do that. And then again, as our economy gets better, we'll want to pave these roads. Maybe even do it with I hate construction management with roads. I really do. But that's a personal problem. I need to learn to do it better. Now, these people getting their needs met, yeah, see how they're getting happier and happier. Let's just follow one and make sure. Is there anybody who's not 100%? Here we go, 71%. What's your problem, Vitsina? Oh, praying. She's got the praying bug. She's in her free time. She got her food, but see, there's no place to pray. We can't build churches. We're not going to build churches. So until we start indoctrinating people and getting that idea out of their heads, that's going to pop up for a while. But the good news is that even for her, I'll bet if we keep watching her next time around, it won't include wanting to pray. It'll have. She'll work. She's working in a school. Which school? She's working over here in this school. And let's just follow her and see what our next set of demands are. And we don't want her to be unhappy. And if we look at our stats, like if we look at last year, look at this. This is so much better than we've been doing in the past. Look at this. 0 escapes over the entire year. We had almost 3,000 births and only 1,700 deaths. So our people are healthier, happier, highly productive, good lifespan. We've got the education system now going. And remember, we're just in April of our 2nd year here. So we've only been at this a year and a quarter. Here we go. Look at her demands: food, clothing, electronics, culture. She got all three of those at the shop. Now all she has to do is go watch a movie. There we go. Now she met everything that she wanted. I'm calling her he, she. I have no idea. And up to 80%. Good deal. All right, so we're looking good now. All right, let's cut off right there. Made a lot of progress. I learned a bunch of stuff. And again, thanks to all of you for all the contributions that you're making to help us all become better players. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it'll help you become a better player. And I hope you'll join us for our next Workers and Resources Soviet Republic video. Thank you.